I ain't gonna live forever. It's my life. It's my life, it's now or never. Everybody used to pick on Bon Jovi, but they would actually do something if they'd actually sit and listen to the words of that. A lot of people live their lives for other people, forgetting about themselves. It's my life, it's now or never. I ain't gonna live forever. It's my life. It's not completely 100% true, but because there is an afterlife. But, I mean, you only got this life once, and a lot of people, unfortunately, give it up for others. Now, if you're giving up for the right cause, I say Jesus Christ, that would be the right thing to do. A lot of people give up their lives for others. Don't do what they want to do because they're worried about what somebody else is going to think. Don't worry about that. Be you. Be true to you. I mean, I would never tell anybody to not give their life to Jesus. But I mean, a lot of us sacrifice ourselves for stuff that doesn't matter. Worrying about what other people think. Wasting your life worrying about what other people think. Not me. It's my life. Ever give it up for would be Jesus Christ. It's my life. Selfish? Maybe. But you only got this life once. If you don't give it up to Jesus and you die without him, you're not going to have anything anyway. You might as well at least had earth. I'm talking to the non-saved people there. There's people that sacrifice their whole lives worrying about what others are going to think. And a lot of Christians worry about what others think, and you really shouldn't worry about what people think. And my issue to the churches, when they start these lockdowns number 2, or 3, or 4, I'd reject them. They don't have the authority to shut down your church. She ain't giving me the option to sing it. Is my mic off? Come on. I'm not saying the singing thing. It's my life. It's now or never. Must have missed it. I ain't gonna live forever. That's the only part of that song I don't agree with. My TV went off. Look at that. Hold on. These freaking cables. Those switches ain't nothing but freaking problems. Now I've got this mess on the floors and knocked everything over. Doing that freaking switch. That's the only part of that song I don't agree with. I ain't gonna live forever. People need to start taking their lives, though. I mean, even your walk with Jesus should be your walk, not dedicated to somebody else. Your walk. I ain't gonna live forever. It's my life. Okay. I need to shut that up. I don't know why I got that playing in my head. I was just thinking it always seems like something's always trying to get in my way. And I'm thinking, it's my life. By the way, Phil Collins has had to retire. I understand his... I mean, I don't completely because he got to live his life. Mine come on early. I wanted to do these things from the beginning and couldn't do them. Still can't. I'm not even able to do the karaoke since this COVID hit. I can't stand long enough. I probably need to just sit in a chair. It's challenging having those kind of problems. Back issues, debilitating back issues, and other things. I wanted to be a performer. I wanted to be a singer. Just had to sit home. So if I get agitated every once in a while, that's the reason. Sometimes home's the best place to be. If you don't live in Dalton, Georgia, that is. Or some crap hole like it. You know, those people that live in those little small towns and they complain about that small town, they're going to miss it if it ever goes away. And they're left there and they don't leave it. They're going to be sitting back and they're going to be saying to themselves, why did I complain about that? I was born in a small town. Grew up in a small town. I can't remember the lyrics of that small town. But I know the rhythm goes like this. I miss my small town. They turned it into a big town. And now I long for the small town. 'Cause that small town was good enough for me. And I can't stand all that noise that comes with the big city. And I'd love to be somewhere in isolation. I hate those big cities, want away from them. I'm writing my own version because I can't remember the lyrics. But I was born in a small town, and I miss my small town. I grew up in that small town, but by the time I got older, they turned it big. When I was a kid, it was still small. You see nothing but woods out this way. So they built that freaking Interstate 90. And listen, there's that noise now. You probably can't hear it because of the air conditioner. And hell, I miss my small town. I love to see a small town. You know, move to the city, though. I sort of like that, too. If you notice the lyrics to Move to the City. But you had to move to that city. In other words, it wasn't what he thought it was after he got to it. Okay. Let me get started here. Small towns is where it's at.
Hey, what's happening with it, pimp?
You may not have all the places to go. At the end of the day, that don't matter. That's just like...
And y'all just might make a perfect partnership.
That's just a person trying to fill a space in their life. I thought she had some clothes in here. Oh, yes, she does. We'll change her up a bit. See what kind of... Is that the only tank type she has? We'll give her the black one. Let's see what kind of pants she has. I'm not actually complaining right now. I'm just talking, just having a conversation. Just having a conversation. I hope her pants changed. I didn't like that the way it looked together. 10 minutes giving her a shower. Actually, I wasn't doing that though. I was just getting ready. Getting ready to get started. It never fills the hole anyway, though. You know the only thing that fills that hole? Getting in power with your creator. And I know a lot of people don't believe that. I was getting lectured to earlier about making a comment. And boy, I hate to tell them, but Satan's real as real can be. You ever see his ugly beings, you'll know he's real. And it was that swamp I was praying against when I seen them. They were trying to spook me. And I thought, you don't want me praying, so I'm going to pray more.
What the hell kind of person do you think I am?
5 or 6 of them. I think there might have been a 6th one, but I seen 5 of them. I think one might have been behind me. Fire around them, shooting all around them. I seen fire too. So my fire wasn't holy. But I started screaming at the holy. And as soon as I started screaming in the name of Jesus, they started going back just as they came. Their hands went back into the wall just like they came. And they looked like corpses from what I could see. Because I didn't have my glasses on. But I could see detail without the glass. I mean, I can still do that right now. Like I can take them off right now and I can see her. But I can't see her face. But I see her blue jacket. I see her black top. I see where she's got the light there. I can sort of see the little trim of where her breasts are at. But I can't really see that too well. But that's the way I was seeing them things. I was seeing them like I seen their clothes, their robes. I could not see what their faces fully looked like, but I seen something that were either big dark eyes or sunglasses. What I thought were sunglasses or big, huge, black eyes. And they were real tall, and they were white, and they were black hooded. And they had bony fingers. And I was praying against that evil, is what I was praying against. And I thought, you don't want me praying. So I'm going to pray harder. I got to thinking Satan was trying to spook me. He really was.
Seriously unnecessary.
Instead of getting scared, it encouraged me. You know what I'm saying?
Guess what? Guess what?
Because that's what kind of swamp you're dealing with Hollywood and Washington. There was 5 of them damn things in my room.
Let me break it down.
There's possibly a 6th one. I think there was one behind me. When you're dealing with that swamp in Washington and Hollywood, that's the devils you're dealing with. They're big and tall. Or they're floating off the floor, either one.
What the fucking hell?
I think they were tall. They're evil. They're ugly. I thought they might have had long hair. I couldn't tell if they had long hair or not. Like I said, I took my glasses off. And how I seen her would have been how I would have seen them. I just couldn't see her face in full detail. I'm glad I didn't see their detail. I thought it was a repulsive what I did see. But it didn't stop me. See, I was a young Christian back then. I didn't even know half the things about the Bible that I know now. I thought I knew everything. I thought I knew it all. But I didn't. There's a lot of stuff I needed to learn. One, I was still indulged in religion. And still, there is pieces of me that I'm having to dispel.
Golly.
They're ugly, y'all. He's real. He's real. I don't know what he looks like. Them were his old demons. They had big black robes on. There is a rock album cover that sort of captures them. but not completely. And it's called Black Souls or something. And you can look this up, Testament. And there's these things around the heart that's like a tattoo. That would be similar to how these look. But they had skin on them. I could see they had skin. And their skin was white as a corpse. And they had long black claws. And I could see the long black claws. And I didn't take drugs back then. Meaning drugs like medicine. I wasn't on high blood pressure pills. I wasn't on diabetes pills. At that time I wasn't even taking nothing at all. The worst I took was aspirins and Benadryls and cold tablets and stuff, and that was when I was sick. Back then. If it had been now, I'd blame the medications. I'm telling you, I would have blamed the medications. I would have not believed I really seen them. But I'm convinced because of what I was praying. I'm convinced I seen them. I mean, you do cause things when you pray. And I believe they didn't like my prayer so much that it angered them. And they were coming to spook me, but instead of spooking me, they encouraged me. You see what I'm saying? They encouraged me. They made me pray a little harder. They thought that they showed themselves to me, that I'd just go away. But they might as well face it, I'm not that way with Earth. You come at me, I'm going to come back. And I was the same with the damn demons. I did them just like I do these Earth people. I used to do that at school. I would have got myself in trouble had I not had an injury and got out. I would have been sent away. Because I just laugh it off. They would have got me, and they would have sent me away. That was their goal. Even though I was just either one staying out of school or two being late. That was such a big offense to them. They was going to call the police to me. Mostly I was late. I was late more than I did stay out. Because I had sleeping issues. I'm messed all to hell right now. I slept all freaking day last night after I fell asleep. I slept all night to about midnight. I had my sleeping issues back then. And it caused me problems at school. And though I ain't taking a pill for it, I already got too many pills. Indeed, I wish I could junk the pills I'm taking. I don't like drugs, and they don't like me. Because I don't like them at all. You know, I don't like the drugs, but the drugs like me. I don't like them, and they don't like me, because I don't like them at all. Dude, I want nothing to do with them. I just don't spook easily. Now, I think I would have been more scared of them. Hell, I might have had a heart attack if I could have seen their details. Because it did sort of. I can't tell you I wasn't scared. I just knew who could deal with them. And I screamed his name. In the name of Jesus, I tell you to go away. My mother and them heard that. That's all they heard. They were asleep. And they heard me screaming at them. And they thought I was having a dream. I said, no, I wasn't having a dream. I hadn't even went to sleep yet. I'll tell you what I did. I laid down, get ready to go to bed. I take my glasses off. I lay down, I close my eyes, and then I open them. And there it is. There it's coming. And I could see the ripples coming. It was like ripples forming in the wall, like portal holes. Wormholes. That would be how I would explain it. Portals. Sort of like in a cartoon, like how you would see. Except you didn't see the detail, like in He-Man and stuff. When they'd open them portals up, you would see a detail. I just saw like, It was sort of clear. Of course, like I said, I had my glasses off, so I wasn't you anyway. But you could see like the clearness around it, like it was just something opening up, and then here the fire started shooting out. The fire came first. Indeed, Marilyn Manson had a similar set list where he had these hats on. I don't know what it was, a George Washington hat or something. He was coming out through the fire. And I forgot what year that was. But he was doing a tour where and their shadows would emerge sort of out of the fire. That was similar to how these would do, but their fire was shooting out, and you could see the beams of the fire like it was, like you could see it like it was just coming out of nothing. It wasn't really the wall because it was in the middle of the floor, but you could see the walls from the background. It was around my bed's what it was. You couldn't have got to. I had tables and boxes and stuff like that in the corner, so you couldn't have been exactly in the walls. Of course, they could be. They were spiritual anyway. But it was sort of like I could see the wall behind them. So you can think they're not real all you want to. And I'm not a schizophrenic. I don't see things. I never had a history of seeing things, except for them haunted ghosts that were in our house. And there's a reason behind this place is haunted. And it even has something to do with race. Indeed, it was a big story. But I'm not going to go into it, but them voodooists supposedly cursed him. But he owned all this. They got even with him and cursed him. So all the property was haunted. Like I said, that neighbor, he was running around the house with a shotgun. Now, you know, I didn't put much stock in him. If it had just been him alone and his drug habits, I would have not believed him. But that was around the same time I seen all that going on when he was chasing the big black hat creature with a gun. He swore it was in his house and it had a big black hat on. And he was trying to shoot it. Now, he was on drugs. He was also drunk. And I told my mom, I said, normally I wouldn't believe somebody like him. But I believe him now. I'm sure the police didn't believe him. They took him to the hospital and kept him for a few hours, 70-something hours, 72, I believe. I'm sure they didn't believe his account, but I believed him. There's all kinds of crap going on around that time. All kinds of crap. But I also read that the 97 was the year of the witches. It was one of the darkest years, witchcraft-wise, in the history of our time. And there was a lot of that going on that year. And when you dabble with that stuff, you open portals. Even the Ouija board, it can bring in, even though most of it's the brain. 99% of that's the brain and you and the board. But it can open portals. They're finally building new houses where he lived. When he saw the big black creature. Big black dressed creature. You know, I saw big black dressed creatures too. There's 5 or 6 of them. They didn't have hats on. They had robes on. The only thing I can... Souls of Black. Oh, I love that song. You're lost souls, souls of black. It's from the early 90s. And it was called Testament. It's a good song. Good CD cover too. I love the artwork. But I look at it from different eyes since I've seen it. See, back then it was just a neat artwork. But when you see something similar to that, it ain't so neat. And it's live in your face. It's not just something there. It's not, no, or just not, it's really in your face. I mean, there's no way you can mistake something. I mean, people goes on about the UFOs and the lights, and they could be this and that. There's no way when you see fire coming in your freaking bedroom, and it's coming out of nothing, and then finally these things come emerging out of it, like they're walking out. The only thing that could do that would either be a projector of some kind, and there wasn't no way they could have projected. I keep my windows shut. Indeed, I had them blocked off. And it wasn't deliberate, I just had stuff in front of them. And I had the curtains closed, so there's no way anybody could have put a projector in my room. There's no way it could have been projected in there. That'd been the only way you could have done something like that. And it wasn't me, because like I said, I don't have a history of seeing things. And I wasn't on nothing back then. So I was praying about something that dealt with that kind of issue, that's darkness and attack on people and the use of and them doing things with this stuff, and that's what I would happen to be. I mean, I really do believe it because of the subject that I was literally praying on. I really do think they thought that they showed themselves to me, that I'd go away. And they found out that I'm not timid. I mean, they could have probably been, I could have probably been a grasshopper. They could have probably been grasshoppers and I wouldn't have backed off. Because I remembered the person that could deal with it. You see, I remembered his name. Even though I was young, I knew that much. I knew who could deal with him. And he was the one I named. In the name of Jesus, I tell you to get back. Go away. Go back from whence you came, or something like that. I screamed out. Go away. In the name of Jesus. Now, there was several dreams that I had that were similar to that. And believe me, I would do it in the dreams too. And that's what always would shock me. To think that even in the dreams, when stuff like that would happen, I had the knowledge to scream Jesus at them. And a lot of times they go away even in the dream. Like this is one dream I had. This was a strange dream. It was about UFOs that took over. It'd been similar to Mars attacks or something like that, and they was everywhere. And they was all over everywhere, and they was flying around. And they was tormenting people. And they finally got to me. And I started saying, "You're not a UFO. You're a demon. Get away." And they did. They revealed themselves, but then they went away. Now this was way after I seen this thing. This was like 2004, 3 or 4 when I had that dream about them aliens and then they morphed. I had all kinds of weird dreams. That wasn't a dream. I still wait. I told my mom, I said, no, I wouldn't sleep. I just now seen them. I shut my eyes for a second and then opened them, sort of like when you do, like you just blink. It's sort of like a blink. Getting ready to go to sleep. And I blinked, and then that started. The minute I blinked. It'd been like a little blink, like you shutting your eyes and then you open them back up. You're getting ready to go to sleep. You're laying on your pillow, and poof, there they are. Now, it could have been a quick sleep. Who knows? It might have been a cat sleep. But it was enough for me. I seen it. I'll give it that it might have been a cat sleep, but I doubt it. I was still waiting. And I don't care whether people believe me or not, I see it. And I think they're real because there's an evil in this world. And I know people can be evil themselves, men can be evil themselves. But I think a lot of it is inspired by demonic forces. And there's some things you can only explain as demonic. Whoa, I turned her over. I guess I'll just have to get out. So I have to find her another vehicle. I like that outfit. Water, water, water. Oh god, I killed her. Dang it, I didn't mean to kill her. And every time she just falls. Water, water, water. Yeah, I've been here before. Why did I get myself here? I got my eyes on the water. And I hate when I get into this because I like to never run out of it. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Ooh, hoo, hoo. Unfortunately, I think before it's all over, the poor world's going to see them. Because there's things that supposedly in that Bible that happens during that time. There's people going to see a whole lot worse than what I've seen. When it actually starts rolling. And I believe Steve Well told that some people within the government actually have some of them captivitied up in their big tall things. I believe that. These were pretty tall. I can't tell you. The ceiling was about 9, 8, 7, 8, 9 feet. They went up to pretty much the top of the ceiling. Whatever these were. I was asking my mom. I don't remember how tall it was. I know it was over my head. I'm 6'3". I'm not little myself. They were bigger than me. I'm telling you, they were bigger than me. Because I could tell. They were pretty good size. They were ugly. What I seen was ugly. And like I said, I can take my glasses off and I could turn her around and I could tell you her details. And she's not even as big as they were. I was seeing them bigger than her. Let's see if I can get her closer. Let's see if I can get her about how they were. If I take my glasses off, I can't get her to where they were at. Because they would have been way, like where she's at right there. They'd have probably been about the mid where that dark spot in that tree is. How I seen them and the fire around them. So they were pretty big. I can't even get her up close enough to where they was at. Because she's a little TV, 32-inch TV, you know. She's on a little 32, and I was seeing life, like in real life, how the tall room is, and it was a pretty good sized room. I mean, it wasn't big by the big standards today, but it was big for its time. Some of these rooms today are way bigger than it. They built a dining room downstairs, and it was the room above the dining room. And the dining room consists of one side with the table on it and the other side with the places where they sit and the couches and stuff. And then you went out to the patio. Now part of it was closeted. They had a little closet at the end of the room. It's a pretty good sized room. I just don't remember how tall the ceiling was. It was either 7 or 8 feet. They went up to about the top of it. They wasn't floating off the air. They wasn't floating. See, I couldn't see the bottom of the bed. I could just see them. They were up there. I'm pretty sure there's one. See, there was a spot that you could have stood right there. There was a step. You had to step up, and you went inside the hall, the little hallway that went to the bathroom. And there's a step. There's a little place there you could have stood behind the bed over there. I swear there's one over there. I just didn't look over that way, but I could see the fire. The shining of the fire that direction. So there had to be one over there too, so that means there's about 6 of them in the room. I seen 5 of the 6. The middle 4 I seen the best. It wasn't an illusion. I don't believe it was a dream. It was, if it was a quick sleep, it was a quick sleep and a quick wake up. I will tell you that. But the subject that I was praying about, I think it was real. I really do think because of what I was praying, it was real. I really do believe that. And I'll never stop believing it until God tells me otherwise. If God gets there and tells me, yeah, that was just you dreaming, son, I'll believe it. I hate when she gets here. There's some old horrible smell in here today. I don't know what that is. I'm smelling some old horror. Always smelling horror. That's another thing about this old town. Always stinks. All these old plants. Of course, they were here. They were here when it was small. It's not somewhere you want to move to or move your family to, that's for sure. Stay away. 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 Monkey see, monkey do, but run away. Rather be dead than cool. Run away. Live a life, it's a rhyme. Unless of all love is blind. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stay away. Oh boy, it's the highway. He used to offend people with that line at the end of it. Oh Lord, you got hit by that old damn trailer.
What on earth? What on earth?
Do you know, if you really think about it, the real translation of the word to appy That's true. God is very happy. God's the best, happiest character in this world. Indeed, I bet he had a lot of humor when he was around here on Earth. He even got arrested for that. He spray painted it on something. He got arrested. God is gay! That last line. He's right telling the truth. God is happy. He ain't gay like they would, like they would want you to think. But he was happy. You know, it was originally happy. That's what the word meant. Indeed, I was praying to him about something yesterday, and he put some funny thought in my head. I laughed. And he sits in the heavens and he laughs. Go look through that out there all the Psalms. You'll see it many a time. And he sits in the heavens and laughs. So God is very happy. Of course, I know him. He was probably been really offensive with that. He probably really... Because he was one of the early champions of the LTVG movement. But when I look at his reasoning... he wasn't really doing it from a perverted stand of view. He was really doing it because he didn't think people should mistreat him. So even though I don't 100% support that cause, I do agree with that. I don't believe in mistreating people based on their skin color. I don't even really mistreat these illegal aliens. I mean, I don't try to. If they do something to me, I might call them a name or something, but call them something ugly or say something ugly to them or cuss them, but I cuss anyway. I'll cuss you no matter what color you are. I cuss to myself all the time. I'm always cussing. It's just a part of me. I'm trying to shed it, but it hasn't went away yet. Because I still had to rebuke it a couple of times today. Wanting to cuss about stuff. I don't believe in mistreating them. It's just a thing that you have to come here legally. I mean, if you don't enforce your nation, you don't have one. And every one of them other countries are enforcing theirs. You go try to be an illegal alien in some of these other countries, see what they do to you. China in particular, one of the ones that criticized Trump. They were so critical of Trump's policies. Yeah, you go be illegal in their country and see what they'll do to you. They'll throw you in a prison labor camp. Which might be a befitting punishment if you really think about it. Because they're invading your country. I mean, you might as well, if you're going to have them in your country working, you might as well have them be in prison labor. That'd stop them from doing it. But the point of it is, I'm trying to say, they got no rights criticizing. It'd probably be a befitting punishment. Because you got no business trespassing. And I don't care about the past. Every single one of these countries have been formed that were something else at one time or another. You can't use the Indians as an excuse. The Indians could have probably not went along with some of the things too. And I'm sure a lot of their followers weren't happy with some of the things their chiefs done. Just like we're not happy with how they're running our country today. If you really think about it, there's probably a lot of Indians who didn't say nothing when they was making these backdoor deals for whatever they was getting out of it, whether it be women or booze or whatever they was giving them. They got the whole Louisiana Purchase on chump change. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of angry Indians sitting around somewhere. So what the hell are they doing? We're losing our land. I'm sure there was. You can't tell me everything was peaches and cream and every one of them agreed with it. Because we don't agree with it. And I wouldn't have billed them as racist. I would have billed them as people concerned about their country. And that's what they would have been. They would have been concerned, and they would have been losing their land. And then eventually they would be ruled by them people. Even God tried to explain that to the Israelites when he gave them a king. He didn't want them having a king. He wanted to be their king. No, we want to be like the rest of the nation. We want a king. Okay, you'll get him and you'll get his problems. You'll be subjected to him and everything you got to be his, and you'll be under his roof. Well, they got exactly that. Saul wasn't necessarily the best man. And I guess at times, even after I was hearing that part about the other part, you'll see I don't know those books as well as I know some of the other books. Indeed, I was listening to them not too long ago, back in November, and I was hearing some things in there that I was liking. They even got out with David at times too. When that part Peacock was reading, they wanted to kill him. But they got what they wanted. That was what they want. That was what they got. That was what they want. That's what they got. They wanted a king. God gave them a king. They wanted a king. God gave them a king. And then they complained about that too. I don't want no king. When I read that, I said, Jesus, why do they want a king? I don't even want a king. I don't want nobody telling me what to do. And if anybody does, it's going to be God. Because he's the creator. I can't argue with him. It ain't going to be a human being. That's for sure. It ain't going to be a devil. It ain't gonna be a devil in black either. A soul of black. I ain't gonna listen to a devil neither. A devil in black. Or 5 or 6 devils in black. Hell, they're probably the puppet masters of some of the things we're dealing with. Just think they're still around right now, even though that was 97. If things has probably been around for thousands and millions and thousands of years, probably millions of years. They might have been here when before God created the earth. The things. I know the war with Satan started before, because he was in the Garden of Eden. That means he was casted. They're probably some of the puppet masters. But I guess they found out they weren't going to master me. They may master me to a degree by getting me stirred up and getting me cussing or something like that. But they ain't gonna have full reign in my life. They're probably the puppet masters. I would say, because of the subject I was praying about, that yes, they're probably the puppet masters. They're probably the ones they worship when they have their rituals. You know, Hitler was talking to some things too. That come out. He even got his name and everything, bro. Some things he called the Dark Angels. Some things. Yes, I called you things. Repent, you creatures of the night. You can't repent, though. You've already fallen. But the people that you're controlling can repent. Where am I at now? And I'm getting her stuck. I'm just riding around again. I ain't took no missions. You live in the black souls. I wish I could remember the lyrics to that song. Souls of black. It was a great song, good song. You know, a lot of times people was ugly to heavy metal. Some of it was kind of devilish worship. A lot of it was basically protesting this stuff. It was just protesting religion and protesting a lot of things. Like even Dave Mustaine, even before he was a Christian, his lyrics. He's protesting these bloody wars and these people that does bad things in the name of God. They basically run people away from God because people blame God for those things, or they just don't believe in him at all because they think, well, if he's a loving God, why does he let this happen? The problem is he's allowed free will. He ain't really just letting it happen. You see, those entities are choosing to do, no matter whether it's human or even a devil. It's made the choice to be evil, or that person, he or she, or even those things that I was talking about. They have chosen to be evil. And things have chosen to be evil. And some of them are led by things like that they're their puppet strings. Thank God we can't see them. We could probably see them. Their fingers are big enough to be puppet masters on. If them fingers were long. They must have had big fingers to meet their strings. Well, I say a few. I'm trying to think about how long the fingers would have been. She's running up the road. I keep running up that mountain, running up that hill. Who was that lady that sung that? Oh, in the 80s. Running up the hill, running up the... Can't think. I used to play a lot on the duck. Actually, though, it was the Bad Mother Alfred I played that I like. 'Cause a lot of times I played the dark and alternative stuff. And then the really bad stuff like my girl, she's a bad, bad girlfriend, and stuff like that. I'd play stuff like that on there. Or Crazy Bitch, or there's one I really love from him. They're called Room 21. That's really bad. That's really debauchery. She said, nice to meet ya. but she didn't tell me her name. And here I go. I gotta repent. But when we were done, I don't know if any of y'all's ever listened to it or not. I shouldn't even be putting it out there to corrupt someone. Down, 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 down. But it's more its rhythm I like more than the lyrics. I thought it had a neat rhythm. Down, down, down. It's like a highway to hell. That it sounds great. It's kind of bad. Down, down, down. Highway to heaven to me is the worst though, because it's, I mean, hell. Highway to hell. Highway to heaven was TV show. Highway to hell is, in my eyes, it's worse than any vulgar song, because it's actually saying you're on a highway to hell, and that's not really a good thing to be on. And it's not going to be the right concert they try to make it be. And as a Christian, that kind of language bothers me, but yet the song, now listen to it, and it's attractive, you know. It actually has the lure of Satan, because it appears as an angel of light, and it sounds so, I mean, if you wasn't into that, you wouldn't hear it, but I hear it. If you're into rock and roll, and that song sounds rock and roll. Them lyrics can offend me worse than any lyric from any bad song you can think of. I was thinking there's one I really love though. There's this one song I really love. And it's similar. And it's by Marilyn Manson. He done it that year, by the way. He put it out that year. What is it? Oh, it's about... What is that called? I want to live. I want to love. But it's a long, hard road. Out of hell, I want to live. I sort of do like that one, because I like what it's saying. It's basically saying he wants all this stuff, but it's going to be a long time out of hell. And the thing about it is, you won't get out of hell, but even in the earthly realm, somebody who's walked around 40 years in the desert can tell you that it really is a long, hard road. Especially somebody who wanted to be a rock musician, but then became a Christian, but then still stuck with it, stuck your head into it because you liked it. And it's a long, hard road getting away from that. See what I'm saying? So it's a different reason what I'm talking about, even than what the song's saying. My thing is you want all that stuff, but it's going to be hell to pay. So I kind of like that song. Indeed, it's one of my favorite karaoke songs to sing. I want to live, I want to love, but it's a long, hard road. Out of hell, I want to live. You never said forever was gonna hurt like this. And it will hurt. It'll hurt real bad, especially the ones that make it in hell. It'll hurt. So it really is a good song in a way, because it's basically got a lot of truth in it. Thing about it is you can't spin your way out. You gotta have Jesus. I spin my own way out of hell. There's nothing left of the soul to sell. Live fast and die fast too. How many times I do this for you? How many times I do this for you? Yeah, you can't spin your way out of hell. I want to live, I want to love. So like going back to that Bon Jovi song, where it's my life, but yet he says he's not going to live forever. Well, with that song, you can't spin your way out of hell. See what I'm saying? There's no such thing as spinning your way out of hell. Now you do have to reap what you sow. And if you sow a wasted life, you're going to reap a wasted life. See what I'm saying? But I've been lucky. God spared me of a lot of things that I'd have probably brought on myself. Even though I did bring some woes to myself, He spared me of a whole lot of it. I'm very thankful. Thing is, I still don't want to get out of it, and that's bad because this, when you look at these times, we're in some really tough doo-doo spiritually. And part of me still has that gleam about the rock and roll. But yet I see the dangerous times. But then I'm going to try not to worry about it because I think He's got it covered. I think He's working. I know He's working. It's time to get serious. It really is. And I guess that's what I'm talking about it for. See, I know it. I know how serious the hour is. And I'm basically probably talking to myself more than anything. I got to get off here. I get my shower for today. Whoa. I don't know what time it is. And I didn't do anything today. I did build her character up some, which is good. That's always good to build a... Oh, I see a good car she needs to get. I want to live. That's probably going to be a loud engine. There's an orange one right there. Oh, I'm sleepy. You know, I wish I'd be that sleepy when I'm ready to go to bed. No parking. Ain't got time for this.
You know,
I was just taking a look here. You
You
should mind being a crackhead. Why you want to be a slave to that substance? Get off of it, buddy. That's a nice building.
You're fixing to pay for this damage.
That's a nice artwork. Okay. Oh, I'm sleepy. Turned off the sleep. It just hit me right like that. Like just. Whew. I wish I could be sleepy when I'm trying to go to sleep. See, that's the problem. It always hits me when I don't want it to hit me. I'll tell you some of the times it really does hit me. And I'm thinking, yep, where have I seen this before? The Garden of Gethsemane. And all the disciples were sleeping. A lot of times it will hit me when I'm listening to a good sermon. Many a times it's hit me when I was listening to good sermons. Then I have to go back and listen again because I was so tired I couldn't listen. And I think, Where have I seen that before? That's one of the reasons why I can't play most of the time. I'm too tired to play when I want to play. The other day I wanted to come on and play some games, and I was just so tired I wasn't able to get up and play. Oh boy, it's a fighter. It's a fighter. It's a fighter. I love the fighters. And then she gets the police called to her. And he was the aggressive. He was the Will Smith. And she's the one that's getting in trouble. He was the Will Smith. She was just protecting herself. You know, everybody's going on about Chris Rock. And you know, even though I think it was staged, it may have not been staged. Will Smith would be the one that would have the problem. Because he's the one who attacked the man for cracking a joke. I mean, a comedian is a comedian. And in the old days, they used to be offensive, and I miss the offensive ones. Those are the ones I like. It's the offensive ones I like Sam Kinison. Oh, Sam Kinison. Wow, dang! Do, 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 do. You made my heart scream! Boom. He's probably one of the things that's so metal to me, too. You make everything groovy. You know, he kind of gave me some hope back then. Because I was a big chubby guy, you know. He was a big chubby guy. He'd get up there with all the rockers. He's up there with Slash, Steven Adler. And I was a big chubby guy too. I wanted to be in rock and roll, and you know, all of them, they didn't look chubby. They were skinny, and they had their little leather pants on, and their little blue jeans on, and their little blue jean coats. And there Sam Kinison was. He was a big old dude. He was up there with all of them. Billy Idol. He sold it to me, y'all. Wow, dang! Do, 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 do. Yeah, made my heart scream. Boom, boom. By the way, that's when I seen all them programs I was talking about. That I don't know if, well, my YouTube audience will probably hear it. And they'll probably watch this video later, granted it gets up there. I was talking about the rock and roll, and I sort of did it bigger than I normally talk about it. I actually talked about it, but I didn't tell the timing. The timing was when I was about going on 15. It was that last summer before I was 15. It was my tail end months of the... Because he was doing it through the summer. Those series as he was doing. So it had been my last months of 14. And I was so into that rock and roll. I wanted to be a rock and roller. I don't really desire that anymore, except for I like it. I like getting on stage and singing. But I don't really have that. That's sort of been put out of me. I don't really think about that anymore. I guess Hollywood's just gotten so unattractive to me. And I see the positions they take on our country, and they don't care about our nation at all. They just like globalism, a lot of them. And I guess that's took it away from me. I don't have that woman anymore. I just want to do things myself, you know. Of course, I've sort of been like that since I first released my album. Indeed, that felt good when I done it myself, because I thought, well, at least I done it myself. And back then, I didn't even have nothing to feel bad about, because I didn't even put it on credit. That first one, it took a long time, but I saved every penny. It was 2, 3, and 2 and 3 where I put it all on credit. And that's where I regretted it. I should have just saved it up, even if it took years to put it out. I didn't want to go on the long route, so I took the credit route. And I was so stupid. But I was proud of myself that first time, because I actually did it myself. I didn't wait on some record producer to find me. I didn't wait on some record company to find me. I just put it out there. You know, it was some girl in the chat room one time told me that. And she had me thinking. I told her I finally just gave up. I would send things around and say, well, why don't you try to keep going? And then I started looking up doing it yourself. By 96, I put out my first album. I was actually proud that first time because I saved every penny of it. It didn't cost me nothing. It cost me a thing. It just took time. I done one song at a time, and then I put the album out when it was through. The second one and third one, I took shortcuts. You never want the shortcuts. Don't take the shortcuts in life. And then I added other junk on there with it. The most stupidest one was the dream of putting it on a record of me. I wanted to hear my voice on a record. I made that happen. That was really foolish. I mean, when I was a kid, I'd look at these things and I'd think, wow, I want to be on one of those. I never had that for anything. No tape, no CD. Well, maybe a CD at one time, but then I made that happen too in the 90s. 97 and 98. That thrill got over real quick. You know, I'd have probably done it a little sooner myself. I'd had a burner and a computer. I didn't have one in 2001. I saved that penny up. My mama wouldn't pay me a little bit to do a little bit of stuff around the house. And I saved that up. It was only like $30, $40 or something like that. 30, 40, I believe it was 47. So it's been a little over 40. That guy did them, custom CDs. He was really doing them for small bands and small runs. I noticed he was hesitant about doing it, and I didn't know all this stuff back then. You see, I didn't know you had to get. I was ignorant. It was my karaoke recording, and I wasn't planning to sell them. But you know, you have to even pay the royalty even to do that, you know. And I knew he was hesitant about doing them, but he done it anyway. I found out years later it was because of legal. See, when I studied up on all that stuff, I figured it out pretty much. But I wasn't planning to do nothing with them, you know. I was just going to, like, just even hand them out to some of my family and friends. I wasn't even planning to do nothing with that. That wasn't even a thought of. I wasn't even thinking about selling it or anything. It ain't worth selling. I mean, a lot of that stuff, a lot of it's overdubbed because I added vocals on vocals. But I didn't know all the legal stuff back then. Like I found out when I started putting music out myself, I was even going to try to buy a trademark name. I wasn't even going to go by my real name. I was going to put out a fake name out there. But I read about trademarks and all that and how much they costed. And I got turned off that real quick, me not knowing I wasn't going to make no money. So I just put my name out there. I didn't remember putting my name out there. Of course, they'd found it anyway. They done Michael Savage that way. He had a name on his, and they went out there and started putting his real name out there. So they would have got it anyway. People would have got it anyway. So now I just chopped it down on the internet ideas, APFNS. Because I'm basically just Anthony Philip Stone.
Watcha! Watcha!
Anthony Philip freaking Stone, or the F word if you want to call it that way. We'll say freaking because I'm trying not to cuss. But I really wanted to file a trademark. It was just too much money. It's too much. So I looked up all that stuff.
Yeah, I work with Scott Stevens. If by work you mean Aaron.
Of course, now if I could actually license it just as an archival thing and put out a short run of them, believe me, I would, but I can't because of the. I wish I could get the vocals away from the music. Because if I could get the vocals away from the music, I would take my vocals and add music to it and recover it and release them as covers. But I don't know how to do that. I'm going to tell you, I wished I knew how to do that back then. Where I'd had my vocals, because it was my vocals. I could do whatever I want with my vocals, and you can go out there and get a license, and you can put them out. But because the record companies own those tracks, the record company pretty much owns those tracks. You know, they're backing tracks. They own those recordings, and if they've been released to the artist, which was the case with Motley Crue and them, which have sold them back to somebody else now. The artist owns those tracks. And they're not going to license you to release their... I mean, it's theirs. But I'm going to tell you, them vocals are mine. I'm going to tell you, if I could get them vocals away from that music, I would make my own cover versions of those songs. It'd be sort of like a piece of my history, but yet it would be a remastered version. Or a recreated version, but using the original vocal. See, I didn't even deal with tracks until 2006. I keep wanting to say 90. 2006 when I was recording my first album. 2005, actually, late 2005. I recorded most of it and did most of it in 2005, but didn't release it the summer 2006 because that's when I got it ready. That's when I had all my copyrights and all that ready. You know what I'm saying? Indeed, I tried to digitally copy what I did on, what was that one I put out 2 years ago, I think. It was a Marilyn Manson cover of Get Your Gun. No, what was that? Which one was it? What was it? Oh, I know, Wrapped in Plastic. Guilt is the snake we beat with red. I tried to digitally create what I did on that karaoke. What attitude? I shouldn't be doing this. I should get out because I need to go take a shower. I'll probably just close on out because we'll try later. We'll try some missions later. Okay, I'll see y'all later. Thanks to the people that will watch us in the future. I'll see y'all soon. I don't know if it'll be tonight. We'll see.